Hey there, traders. Welcome back for episode number 93 from the StockBandit.tv. I'm always glad that you're able to join me. So, as is always the case on Sundays here, we're going to take a look at the major averages, kind of review some key levels in the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, and the Dow for the upcoming week, because we know that if those levels get crossed, then it's probably going to influence most individual stocks to move a particular direction. And so this is where the trading week will always begin. So up first, we're going to take a look at the NASDAQ. And for each of the indices, we saw them make some progress last week, really with bookend rallies. Monday we rallied, and Friday we rallied, and those really marked the overall net difference for the indices. For the NASDAQ, it tacked on some gains last week, and it cleared this 1979 level just recently. It flirted with that, and actually on Thursday finished just slightly beneath it, but on Friday jumped back into this short-term consolidation area that started to form between the high set last week at 2015, and then of course this 1979 level right down here. So at this point, we're just channeling right here between these two key levels, and once we push out of this range, one direction or the other, that's likely going to set the pace and the direction for the next near-term move. So if we do happen to fall out of this consolidation to the downside, then this previous resistance zone at 1905 is probably going to be the next stop. I think that's a logical spot to possibly test. Again, if you'll recall, this is from an unfilled gap from late last year, which we just cleared to the upside. So we just did finally clear that level, but the 1905 level served as a key level back then, and then more recently before we finally got through it. So on the upside though, if we do see this rally continue, this index really has freedom of movement all the way up here to this 2,150 area. So plenty of room to move higher if this momentum continues. But after a move of this magnitude in just a few weeks, it certainly would be healthy for this market, even if it caught some traders off guard, to see some kind of a pullback kick in. And so keep that in mind. If the momentum continues, excellent. There's lots of stocks in uptrends to be participating in. However, always keep stops in place, and remember that this market is capable of doing anything. So we could certainly sell off quite sharply, or we could pull back mildly, or we could just keep cruising. So no scenario is out of the question. Just always have to remind ourselves of that. For the S&P 500, zooming back out here on the chart, we have exceeded the high set last November at the 1007 area. Last week, obviously, we flirted with that for several days, and then are trying to get free of it here to the upside. This index, really the next level to the upside, is from early October of last year, right around the 1100 level. So if this persistent strength that we keep seeing happens to lead to more upside, then I think that's the next logical spot. However, on the downside, we've got a number of levels to keep an eye on. So obviously this 1007 area is very important. We also have this 982 zone from just a couple of weeks ago. That may serve as a spot for a pullback to pause. This 956 area right in here was an important zone, and then of course 875 has been very important. It's been noted here a number of times. So any pullback or dip could bring this index back to test any of these levels, and so I sure wouldn't expect that to happen in a day or two. However, after a move of this magnitude, we have to be looking for some kind of profit taking at some point to kick in. Until it does, we'll continue to eyeball some trades on both sides of the tape, but the bulls have the momentum at this point, and we've got to respect that. For the Dow, this index has room to climb all the way up to the November high of last year. It's around the 9650 level, so still plenty of room to the upside, but again, this index has made a huge move in just a few weeks. So some kind of a pullback or profit-taking move after a surge higher like that would come as no surprise. The bulls have been there to provide support on every little dip in each of the indices, so they have yet to allow the market to slip, but at some point they're going to move to lock in some gains and raise some cash. And I just think it's important for me to remind myself and you as we head into a brand new week of trading that that's certainly not out of the question. We've seen very consistent upside, but at some point we may see some profit taking kick in. We've got to stay on our toes as traders. So as always, thanks for joining me again for this episode. I will be back soon with more videos, but in the meantime, trade like a bandit.